How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. No, I'm just kidding. But what if I actually started videos like that, though? So, what's up? I did not have a game plan before I stepped into this. Let me turn this sound a little bit more down. Alright, and now we are chilling. Hold on. Sorry, there's some chaos by the gate near my back door. It's probably my brother, but I have not filmed myself speaking in a few days. Just like 2. There's a reason for that, though. I don't want to run out of things to talk about, you know. I don't actually lead a very interesting life, so I feel if I talk too much about all the things that I want to talk about, I'll run out of stuff to talk about, and I don't want that to happen. So what have I been doing? I did start my Instagram radio station again. Well, it's not really a radio station per se, but I do a little edit and I sync it up with the music and make it look cool, and then I save them into the little highlights, and I call that the radio station. I started it up again. I did remove all the old ones because I don't know, I just got a bit tired. I was a bit sad when no one would talk back at me, you know. But I started it up again because sharing music is just something that I really like doing. And so that's why I started it up again. All the music will be new. I've been liking and storing all types of nice catchy songs and jingles that I would like to share out into the world. So the Instagram radio station is back up and running, and I try to post a new song almost every day at the end of the night or whenever the slide disappears. So I'll try to stay on that, you know. Take a sip of my coffee. When I was going back yesterday from the gym, I ran into an old friend from high school, and we used to be in musical theater and drama club together. We didn't have a huge story. I don't have a huge story about this, you know. I just thought that was pretty cool, and I wanted to talk about it because I haven't seen him in like almost a decade, like maybe 12 years, 11 years. And I didn't forget his name. I was like, yo, is that you know? And he was like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? And we chopped it up for a little bit, you know. He was very timid, and I think he still is kind of timid, but it was cool running into him, and he still remembered me. So I thought that was pretty cool. We didn't exchange like phone numbers or anything. We just kept it simple, a dap up, a hug, you know. He told me that he lives somewhere nearby, you know, so I'm just, you know, hoping, you know, everything's all good with him, you know. It was really good running into him. And the same day, I did watch a movie called Goodbye, Don Gleese. And nothing much to say here. I hated it. I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was boring, you know. It looked amazing. I thought the animations behind it was very lovely, but it didn't have much going for it for the story. And I did review it and post it on Instagram. I wouldn't recommend you watch it. There were some scenes I suffered from secondhand embarrassment. They sung Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but they did their own rendition on it. And I was so glad that no one joined my VR chat room, because I don't know, I was suffering from secondhand embarrassment. So that was Goodbye, Don Gleese. You can watch it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying that it's the worst movie that I've ever seen, because it isn't. Not by a long shot. I just didn't really like it all that much. I felt like they could have worked a bit more on the plot, you know what I mean? Instead of, because, you know, it was some good life messages in there, you know, and that they fluffed it up to that. So it's to trick your mind. And I thought, whoever cut the trailer for Don Gleese was really, really overselling, because the way the trailer is cut, it makes you think, oh, this is like some this is like some Stranger Things. Like, dang, I can't wait to, because it's like, never would I would have guessed that this summer would have changed everything. And I'm hyped up for that part. And that never came ever at all. And I just felt played, I felt played. So I gave it a 3 out of 5, 3.5 stars. It's not the best movie that I've ever seen, but it's not the worst movie I've ever seen either. It was just okay, but if you're speaking of things that are, no, I transitioned wrong. Let me try that again. I asked myself to talk about Street Fighter 2V. And if you don't know about what Street Fighter 2V is, that was a show that used to come on Encore Wham back in the day. And Encore Wham was this, I don't know what it's like for Californians, for people like me. The trailer provider back then was either Bright House Network or it was either Cox Cable. I had Cox Cable, COX. And it used to come on in this back stations called Encore Wham. And I used to watch it with my aunt. And it was like, I think that was the best Street Fighter animated show that's ever came out to date. And the thing was, okay, so early in the morning when I would wake up for school and we'd have to be, when you're in elementary, it's like you got to be there before 7. You getting ready at 6, be there before 7. I used to walk to school. But it used to air, an episode would air the morning I would wake up, and my aunt, she would be awake and she'd catch it, and and I'd catch a little of it, but I'd have to go. But conveniently, right after school let out, it would play again right when I got home, so I wasn't missing anything. The same episode would play, and I used to watch it with my aunt. And Encore Wham, it had that little jingle. How does it go? Hold on, I gotta drink something for this. And you can look it up. Just go Encore Wham station sound, and it'd start up. And then Street Fighter would come on, and it would be so hype. I used to watch it with my aunt, and we used to tap on our thighs to the beat of the opening. And I ended up buying it. I bought it not too long ago, probably like a year ago. It's still fresh. My copy is still fresh. And I know she has a copy of her own. I don't know if it's the same case. Not at all. But Street Fighter 2V, I highly recommend it if no one has ever seen it. It's like a hidden gem. I don't even think people in the Street Fighter community know much about that one, but it's really good. I highly recommend it. You're gonna love it. If you're a fan of Street Fighter, Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, then you'll be a huge fan of this. And the music for it is awesome. The soundtrack is awesome. Sorry about that. Half of the soundtrack is lost. I searched on YouTube for years. I think every other year I'll start searching for some of the soundtracks, but some of it is lost. So you'll hear some songs in the show that you just can't find on YouTube. Like, you don't know it yet, but the Escape from Kowloon Palace, that soundtrack in the background, it's like, you can't find it nowhere. And I would really appreciate it if some forum out there, I don't know, if you could reach out to me and you have the official soundtrack of Street Fighter 2V, the official with everything on there, including like the various artists, I need that whole thing, but it's just so hard to find nowadays. Maybe I should check the Internet Archive and see what pops up. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I love Street Fighter, man. I used to play it with I'm breathing really hard because I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm sorry. Let me get a drink real quick. Just one tiny drink. I used to play Street Fighter with my uncle, and he's really good at it. That's his game, but I don't know, probably today I'd probably kick his ass. But Street Fighter, I'm a Sakura man since 96. She's my logo. She's my Discord logo, my PFP. We're Sakura mains all day. But I remember I went bowling for the first time I ever went bowling. they had a Street Fighter arcade cabinet, and I spent more time playing Street Fighter arcade cabinet than I was bowling. And it doesn't matter if you still had fun. I still bowled, but just not with, I had fun playing Street Fighter in the arcade cabinet. I hope to own one of those one day so I could just come home and just play a few rounds. I might have to get a fight stick. And then I asked myself, would you buy a PS5 for the new Street Fighter? And that's one thing that I forgot to mention, is I absolutely would buy Street Fighter for the PS5, And I think that's going to be one of the reasons what leads me into trying to get a PS5 so I can play the new Street Fighter game. But aside from that, I am working so I can build my own sound booth, and so I can sound a bit more crispier, and I can get a punching bag hanging in there and hanging in here so I can punch on some things, release some steam when I'm not at the gym. And I try to go to the gym daily, but a punching bag would be great. And maybe a Street Fighter arcade, you never know. Maybe a fight stick, a PS5 fight stick. I haven't seen too many. But yeah, I just wanted to log. Today, get on here and speak so I don't get into the habit of not wanting to speak, So I'm going to call it a night. I'm probably I started Avatar too. I bought it at Target for mad cheap, and I just started it. So I'm going to do that. I'm gonna, shower, brush my teeth, fix me something to eat, and maybe fall asleep to Avatar tonight. So for all you out there, if you're asleep, you have a good night, and if you're falling asleep, you have a good night as well. And I'm gonna get up on out of here. Thank you.